Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sargana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vishnubhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna. So this week we are digging further into the seventh chapter. That the point is that one should understand Krishna with great intelligence. So understanding Krishna with intelligence is the developing the spiritual intelligence. So we were in the seventh chapter, and Krishna is explaining how one should exclusively worship him. And even if you are worshipping anybody, the faith to worship is given by Krishna. So Krishna is the cause of everything. So we looked into very clearly how we should not be worshipping the demigods, how we should be worshipping only Krishna. So Krishna explains that he is in everybody's heart as Paramatma. So and he gives the faith, what everybody else, what we develop so-called to worship some demigod, whatever faith that we have is actually given by Krishna. So Krishna develops the faith within our heart, and therefore the heart is the sitting place of the Lord. The heart is the sitting place of the Lord, and the Lord sitting there is evaluating our deepest desires. He is looking at our bhava. What we do is immaterial, but what emotion we develop within our heart, because he is sitting within the core of our heart. So Krishna is sitting in the core of our hearts, and he is evaluating, he is looking at our heart, and he is looking at our deep emotions and desires. Therefore, we should understand that sitting in the core of our hearts, Krishna is our best friend. So, Hare Krishna. So, John ji just joined in. So, we have to understand that men of small intelligence, Krishna explains here, Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamedasam devan deva yajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. Antavattu balam tesham. Don't desire or developing a desire for things whose pleasure is going to end. So things whose pleasure is going to end. So Krishna says such people are not intelligent. One has to understand the nature of material enjoyment, that it's temporary and it's going to end. This has to be clear. People develop boyfriend, girlfriend, relationships. They develop even marital relationships, social relationships. Marriage is, of course, sacred because we are developing a relationship of marriage to improve our spiritual life. But one cannot just develop any um, relationship which is not mentioned in the Shastra. One has to be intelligent and understand, just like today, it's very easy to have this boyfriend, girlfriend, and at work you have friends, all these things, which is very nice to have. But we should understand that very clearly that one should develop not just a material friendship, but one should develop a spiritual friendship. One should not develop a relationship or friendship just to enjoy that relationship. If that relationship is not concerned with the Krishna consciousness, then that relationship will not bring about happiness in the end, in the long term. So even if you are having friends, be it boys, be it girls, but if the relationship is there in terms of spiritual upliftment, if you are cultivating each other for a spiritual cause, yeah, tomorrow. So somebody was at my door. So we should understand that the spiritual relationships will bring us permanent happiness. When Prabhupada came to America, he saw that it is very difficult because here everybody is together, the boys, the girls, everybody is together. Prabhupada did not object to that. As long as they served together, they were together only to serve Krishna. They were together just cooperating with each other, trying to encourage each other in Krishna consciousness, serving each other, distributing books, cooking prasadam. Each one was doing whatever they could do to the best of their ability. So that is real relationship in society. So intelligence means one understands the meaning of everything, one develops everything with a worldview, what we develop everything with the goal being Krishna. So that is intelligence. Intelligence means to see Krishna in everything, in every relationship, in every person, and to be able to think, cultivate the mindset in such a way how everything can be brought together, how everybody or everything can be brought together to serve Krishna, not with a mood to enjoy for the self, but for the enjoyment of Krishna. Then that relationship is fantastic. Not just, oh, we are just friends, we are just boyfriend, girlfriend, or we are just some kind of relatives, but everything is there. But if that relationship does not bring us closer to Krishna, then that is on the material platform. So, intelligence means to see, to be able to see Krishna in everybody's hearts, to be able to recognize Krishna is the cause of all causes. Intelligence means to surrender unto Guru. Intelligence means to surrender unto Krishna. Intelligence means to let Krishna take over my intelligence. Let Krishna's words guide my mind, guide my intelligence. Let Krishna's desires, let my Guru's desires be my desires. Let Krishna guide me. Let all my relationships be there to serve Krishna. So that is intelligence. Intelligence means to be able to see everything as belonging to Krishna, to see everybody as belonging to Krishna, everything, everybody. And intelligence means to see how in this world Krishna is present in every atom, in every activity. How Krishna is the energizer. Krishna is the one who is behind everything. So that's what we have to understand. But if we do not understand, and if we forget Krishna, and then we engage in acts which do not please Krishna, that's when we really suffer. So intelligence, how do we develop intelligence? Spiritual intelligence. How do we sharpen the spiritual intelligence? So that is by devotional service. It's very simple. The formula is very simple. The formula is very simple. Who gives us intelligence is Krishna. So if Krishna has to give us intelligence, then Krishna, we have to please Krishna. So if we have to please Krishna, we have to act in such a way that we please Krishna. Isn't it? So intelligence means to follow the words of the scriptures. Intelligence means to follow the words of the scriptures. So therefore, we should read the Bhagavad Gita every day. So understanding, developing this intelligence means reading this Bhagavad Gita, sharpening the mind every day. Because Maya is, every moment we are forgetting Krishna. We are not seeing Krishna everywhere. We are just forgetting. We are not thinking intellectually. We are not thinking intellectually. So therefore, if we have to think intellectually, then we have to deal with, then we have to take our strength from things which are intellectual, which are transcendental. And that is the daily reading of the Bhagavad Gita, daily reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. They are your best friends. Who is our best friend? The Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna. Reading them every day. One should develop a habit of reading Bhagavad Gita every day. One should develop a habit of reading Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Anyone who reads Bhagavad Gita every day, anyone who reads Srimad Bhagavatam every day, guaranteed he will be intelligent. Guaranteed he will be very intelligent. Because by reading them, by applying them, the mind becomes sharpened, and gradually the mind is purified on all sides. Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, one should purify the mind on all sides. Means we get intelligence, means to question. Questioning. We develop this questioning ability. Intelligence means to question, to develop the questioning, to develop a thought process of thinking, of questioning. And to develop this, and when we develop this questioning intelligence, one has to have proper questioning. When we have that serious inquiry into the self, one should approach the guru. That is intelligence. When with the difficulty, when one has difficulty, one has to, intelligence means to have that humility. I need help. I want to progress spiritually. I need help. I need to surrender unto guru. One has to, intelligence means, doesn't mean I try to outsmart everybody. No, that is not intelligence. Trying to outsmart everybody in this world. I am intelligent. No, that's not the intelligence we are speaking of. We are not trying to become the big guy. We are not trying to become the big people. I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm intelligent, so that means what? Everybody else is a fool. No, I'm not trying to prove that. Intelligence means, spiritual intelligence means, I am trying to live my life in such a way that it pleases Krishna. I am planning to act in such a way, live my life in such a way that Krishna is pleased by my actions. Planning to act in such a way, live my life in such a way. So we should understand this point, that spiritual intelligence means applying the Shastra. So to apply the Shastra in our day-to-day life, one has to read Shastra. And intelligence means he gives up trying to gain only material benefits out of spiritual activity. In general, people think that I have to enjoy this world, and to enjoy this world I have to be pious, means I am doing spiritual activity so that I can enjoy the world better. No, I am doing spiritual activity so that I can see the world with intelligence in its right perspective and do what is beneficial for the growth of my spiritual life. So that is intelligence. Hare Krishna, on the phone there is an echo of the class, so if you can mute your phone, whichever Whoever is, I don't know who it is, but please mute your phone so that the sound doesn't echo there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So, uh, we should understand that real intelligence is in trying to apply the scriptures diligently. Diligently. One has to evaluate everything based on scripture and ascertain the truth. For example, I was astounded when I read the Bhagavad Gita first time. Prabhupada says, I have repeated this in many times in class, but this is like intelligence. He says, as long as the Atma is within the body, there is production of blood. The moment the Atma leaves the body, production of blood stops. So science cannot make blood artificially. So science cannot make blood artificially. It was very amazing. It was very interesting. So this truth is only explained in the Bhagavad Gita, that production of blood depends on the Atma. This is intelligence. Oh, the scientists will try very hard. They can never make blood, period. Intelligence. The Bhagavad Gita states that the blood comes in the body because of the presence of the Atma, and no scientist can ever produce blood. So the scientist tells you something about how he is making all this research, and in future he will produce blood. Sorry, I cannot take that. So you are able to see with intelligence. So if you apply what the acharyas say and understand, you are looking at this world with intelligence. But we are not there to laugh at them. Ha ha ha. Look at that. Scientists failed. Ha ha ha. We are intelligent. Yes, one should be happy. Yes, I have spiritual understanding, but we are not there to make fun of others. We are there to be grave. Prabhupada was very grave. Grave means we are very serious about spiritual cultivation. So we are here to feel happy. Yes, we are cultivating spiritual life. At the same time, we have to develop compassion on others. We have to develop good relationship with others, spiritual relationship with others. And when we develop spiritual relationships, whoever they are, boys, girls, friends, college mates, colleagues, neighbors, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever they are. But when the relationship is there to help each other, understanding and cultivating spiritual life, then that relationship, then that activity becomes intellectual. In every sphere, husband and wife, father and child, mother and child, everybody. So intelligence means to see, to evaluate, to understand this world in the spiritual perspective. To see and understand this world with the right spiritual perspective. That is intelligence. Sometimes we see, they say a scientist is very intelligent. He could be materially intelligent. But that intelligence will be finished with the body. Scientist is very intelligent. He may get a Nobel Prize. But when he dies of a heart attack, His intelligence cannot save him. But a spiritualist develops spiritual intelligence and he understands he is Atma, Krishna is Paramatma, and he serves Krishna. At the end of this life, he has attained eternity. He has attained eternity. So, that is the point we need to understand. That we are all eternal. We are eternal. We have a long journey. We have a long way to go. We have to live eternally. I have a long, I don't know. You can keep telling long till eternity. I have a long, as long as you can say long, right? I have a long life. I have an eternal life. I don't die. I'm not going to die. That is intelligence. I'm not going to die. I'm Atma. I'm not going to die. Nobody is dead. The body is dead. With intelligence, you see that soul, if you want to really benefit a person, benefit the soul. Jiver doya name ruchi. Have compassion for the soul. Prabhupada says, when a man is drowning, don't try to save the dress. Try to save the person. When you look at this world, try to develop compassion. That is intelligence. So that is what is very, very important. So Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita that if you worship the demigods, you will reach the planet of the demigods. If you worship Krishna, you will reach eternal destination. So whom will you worship? So with intelligence, I worship Krishna, because by worshipping Krishna, I get an eternal destination. I go to Vaikuntha. I will never take birth again. I will be eternally happy. So what should I do? I should worship Krishna. So that's why Krishna says, Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyate mama buddhayaha param bhavam ajananto mavyavyam anuttamam. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, was impersonal before and now assume this personality, and due to their small intelligence do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. So here Krishna is explaining one very, very, very important fact. Very, very important fact. Krishna is explaining. Intelligence means to understand God is a person. Krishna is a person. One who is spiritually intelligent, he understands that Krishna or God is a person. God has a form. God has a place. God has a beautiful rupa. Krishna has a beautiful form. Krishna has a beautiful kingdom called Vaikuntha, called Goloka Vrindavana. Krishna has millions of gopis. Krishna has millions of gopas. Have faith, have understanding that this Krishna is residing there. He is there. He is always in this material world. You may not be able to see him, but the intelligence you can understand. He is the one who is causing everything else to move. And when your mind is fixed on this only, completely fixed on this. But how do you fix it on this? I am not in a position where I can think of Krishna continuously. So that is why one has to chant the names of Krishna. One has to engage in his service. By engaging in bhakti, then you get constantly in touch with Krishna by continuously performing bhakti. You're constantly in that fire, you're constantly burning in that fire, you're connecting to Krishna. That is intelligence, to see what a materialist, ordinary person is not able to see. You are able to see that everything is a manifestation of Krishna. Everything, behind everything, it is Krishna who is making everything possible. It is Krishna who is making everything happen. It is Krishna who is giving you life. It is Krishna who is keeping your body and soul together. It is Krishna who is doing everything. And when one comes to a conclusion, when one comes to a clear cut understanding, yes, that is Krishna who is doing all this. And and I see it is not only me, but it's everybody else. It's everybody is controlled by Krishna. There is nobody who is not controlled by Krishna. There is nothing that is not controlled by Krishna. So intelligence means to see this factor, to come to a point where you see this factor everywhere. You're able to see through the scripture. You're through the eyes of the scripture. Your eyes, but your eyes should be full of knowledge. But eyes don't see this truth. So what do? You should hear. That means you should study the Bhagavad Gita every day. You should read the Bhagavatam every day. It's good you're coming once a week for the class. But at the same time, one should read them every day. And by reading them every day, one develops such strong sense. One develops such a strong sixth sense, you can say, intuition. One develops such strong intuition. So one should develop the art one should develop the art of seeing Krishna in everything, of humility, of surrender, like a child. Like a child, it sees this world. Oh, it's so beautiful, it's so nice. Like a child becoming a witness to wonderful activities of Krishna. That should be our goal. So, Krishna says that intelligence means to see that Krishna is a person. There are people who think that God is some light, that God has no form. So that Krishna says they are unintelligent. They do not have any intelligence. Krishna says, if you think that God is no person, there is no relationship. How can you have a relationship with something that's formless? What's the fun? And what if God, sometimes we see that Krishna is playing with the cowherd boys, he's playing exactly like one of them. Krishna is when they lose this match, Krishna is playing the tug of war, and there are two teams. One is led by Krishna and one is led by Balaram, and they are playing this beautiful tug of war. And then Balaram's team wins. and they defeat Krishna's team, and then Krishna's team, including Krishna, has to carry the boys from the other team on their shoulders and run. So Krishna is playing exactly like another ordinary boy. And if we think, oh, how can God be like this? Well, why can't God be like this? If God is all about, God means he's just some energy, some big light up there, and he's just by his thinking, everything is happening. Like here, Krishna is killing the demons, right? He kills Kamsa. Look at that story, like Mama Shri. He goes, he hunts down Kamsa. He kills him in a wrestling match. Krishna can kill Kamsa just by thinking. Just he doesn't even have to go there. He just thinks and he can kill Kamsa. It's not a big deal. But what is the fun? What is the fun if everything just Krishna thinks and everything happens? What is the fun? All right, there needs to be some fun. That is why there is Krishna Leela. There was one devotee giving a class. He was giving a Srimad Bhagavatam class and he was saying, action, drama, thriller. Where else will you find except Bhagavatam? Krishna stories. Krishna kidnaps Rukmini. He comes like a hero. And all the kings are there and he attacks them. And then he kidnaps Rukmini. And he runs and everybody is fighting with Krishna. And Krishna just defeats everybody and he snatches Rukmini and he goes. And where is she waiting? She's waiting in the temple exclusively for Krishna. Doesn't it look like a movie plot? Doesn't it look like another movie plot? But actually all these movie plots are coming from Krishna. So Krishna has all these wonderful girlfriends. Krishna has these wonderful leelas. Krishna has these 16,000 wives, 16,108 wives. He kills all these wonderful demons. So like a child, innocent, like an innocent child, we just wonder at these activities of Krishna. And this is real intelligence. When we become childlike, when we give up all the pollution within our hearts and understand that Krishna is such a wonderful, caring, loving person. He's a person. He has a personality. He speaks to you. He cares for you. He loves you. He's your best friend. He can be present anywhere. That's why in the 11th chapter, when Arjuna is seeing the ghastly form, he says, Krishna, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this, Vishwarup. I want to see your two-handed, loving form. So, intelligence means to see that Krishna has this wonderful two-handed form, this beautiful form, full of love. Bhakta Vatsala, with great love, he is sitting on the chariot to drive Arjuna. He is sitting on the chariot. And Arjuna has to kick him right to go right. Arjuna has to kick him left on his back to go left. And he is ready. With great love, he is there for his devotees. So we have to understand that Krishna is a person. He is our best friend. He is behind everything that is happening. And one has to ascertain this truth, tattvataha. Tattva means the truth. One has to ascertain this truth by reading it from the scripture as well as hearing this truth from a self-realized soul, and one has to serve the self-realized soul, one has to serve the devotees, one has to surrender unto the Guru, one has to become humble. So intelligence means to become meek and humble and completely depend on Krishna. Intelligence means to think and understand that Krishna is the controller. Krishna is the only controller. And Krishna is the one who has been, is, and will be our best friend for eternity. To depend on Krishna is the highest intelligence. To not depend on our mind can be our biggest enemy. If we have not developed understanding of Krishna, our mind can be our biggest enemy. We can do damage to ourselves with our own mind than what others can do to you. Your own mind can give you the greatest ever pain, something which is not even existent. The mind can do that. Your own mind can do that. So one has to conquer this mind with higher intelligence. And higher intelligence comes by reading, hearing, serving, by practically by performing different activities of bhakti. So Krishna says some people think that God has no form and he has come down, he has some form, and they think that ultimately when Krishna goes back, then God has no form. No, Krishna says this is not true. I have this form, I come down to show you this form, and when I go back to the spiritual world, I continue with the same form. So Krishna's form remains the same, he is eternal. One should not compare Krishna to the demigods. Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He is different. The demigods are different. They are in the material world. But Krishna is avatar, or he is avatari. He comes from the spiritual world to show us his form, and he goes back to the spiritual world in the self-same form. Whereas the demigods, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, all those devatas, they are like you and me. They are in the material world, but they get these higher bodies. So Krishna says, Naham prakashah sarvasya yogamaya samavrataha mudhoyam nabhijanati loko mamajamavyam. I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent, for I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. Naham prakashah sarvasya. I don't become visible to everybody. Why? Yoga Maya samavrataha. My internal energy is covering me. So they are seeing Krishna. They come to the temple. Do you see Krishna? Oh, Krishna. Okay. Like any other god, there is Krishna. But you really don't understand. He is the Supreme Lord. And he is standing right there. This Murti is not different from Krishna. We don't have that consciousness yet. Yoga Maya samavrataha. So only when one is influenced by Yoga Maya, now we are influenced by Mahamaya. Oh, I'm thinking I'm this body, oh, this is my family, this is my wife, this is my child, and that's true. But we, at the same time, we understand I am Atma, and this is Krishna, he is Paramatma, and this is my wife, this is my child for this life. We are going to be together, temporary, but Our real relationship with is this person. And we are together. I am with my wife and my child. Why? I want to lead a spiritual life, a dharmic life with Dharma Patni. That's why she's called Dharma Patni. I want to lead a dharmic life. I want to lead a spiritual life with my wife and make my devotees Krishna conscious, make my children devotees, and then live a life, live an exemplary life with them and with them together as my best partners. They are your best partners, your child. There is a saying, the child, I forget that. A child is reborn as a father, something like that. Means basically, the child can teach you so many things. So if we take our children also as belonging to Krishna, so that they are there to give you spiritual upliftment, you see everything around you and you also think this is there for my spiritual development. Krishna is arranging things for my spiritual development. I love Krishna because Krishna is thinking of me. Krishna is thinking of you. Krishna is actually thinking of you. He wants to give you the best, but we should desire it. Only thing is we have to desire, and he is within our heart. He is looking at our desires. He will fulfill it. He is there within your heart. You have to just decide. You have to just decide. So intelligence means to make that desire that yes, I want to serve Krishna. That's it. Krishna will take care of the rest. So with that intelligence, if we look at Krishna, so with that desire, when we look at, when we develop just that desire within our heart to serve Krishna, then you will see how wonderful serving Krishna can be. When we just have to develop that seed of desire, and then you will see Krishna will make everything successful. Krishna will definitely make everything successful. So Krishna says that mudhoyam na bijanati loko mam ajam avyayam, and therefore they do not know I am unborn and infallible. Krishna comes with his own spiritual body. Although Krishna may be small, Krishna may be a little baby, but Krishna can kill all the demons because even though he's a baby, he has all the powers. He is unlimited, but he takes the form of a baby. It's not like us. We are babies. We don't have the power. But Krishna is a baby. He has all the powers. He kills all the demons when he is a baby. So we need that intelligence to understand that although Krishna is born, he is this baby, he kills all these demons. At this age of 7, he lifts this Govardhan hill for 7 days, 7 nights. He's lifting the whole universe, but he just shows that superhuman feat. Amazing things. So intelligence means to understand that Krishna in any form, he can become small, he can become big, he can be unlimited, he remains perfectly complete. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Avashishyate. That the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is perfect and complete, and everything that comes from him is also perfect and complete. And although he is perfect and complete, and although unlimited perfect things come from him, he still remains unlimited, perfect, and complete. Although Krishna creates all these unlimited universes, Krishna creates all this unlimited everything, still he remains unlimited, still he remains amazing. So this is the thought process one has to develop. One has to develop that thought process. One has to develop that intelligence that Krishna is everything. Krishna is controlling everything, and all we have to do is surrender unto Krishna. So basically understand Krishna is a person. Whatever is spoken of in the Shastra is true. And Krishna is the most loving, most beautiful person who is our best friend. And if we serve his devotees, intelligence means Krishna is pleased with service. So if we serve Krishna as devotees, then by their blessings, by their association, we can get the mercy of Krishna. So intelligence means to take up the path of spiritual life ever more seriously. Read the scriptures every day. Chant the holy name regularly. And seek out serious association. Then our life will definitely become very, very successful. All right, so I will stop here. So any questions or comments, please feel free to ask. So anybody on the phone who is so would like to ask this question, to ask any question, or anybody on the call who would like to ask a question, please come forward. Hare Krishna. So thank you, Prema Mataji. Yes, thank you very much for joining every week. So I would like to thank all those who have joined, to taking out your precious time for Krishna, to for listening to this class and taking it very, very seriously. So my question is it bad to pray to a formless God? Can you elaborate on the question? Bad in the sense Krishna says he has a form. So I'd like to answer, yes, thank you, Johnji. Thank you for joining in. So is it bad to pray to a formless God? So it's like maybe that is just someone's belief. Okay. Now, whatever is your belief, but belief, what is more important to find out the truth? That is intelligence. It may be my belief. So I believe that I am the Prime Minister of China. But that's my belief. But that's not the truth. So the point is, we could believe anything, but we have to understand. We have to really understand what is the truth. Our belief is fine, but we have to understand what is the truth. So that is important. So it may be my belief that this is true, that's my belief, but what is the truth in actuality? What happened? What is the truth out there? So Krishna says he is a person. What you see as formless, that Brahman, is effulgence. But what Krishna wants you to know, that I am not pleased. This Brahman is just my effulgence. By worshipping that, you will not get a permanent position. So intelligence means to understand. Krishna is saying, if you worship me, this person, Krishna, this person, then you will get the highest benefit. You will come to Vaikuntha. So what we have to be inspired is, yes, we have to be hear from a pure devotee, and also we have to put in our own efforts to understand the scriptures. We should develop that seriousness, and when we develop that seriousness, one has to develop spiritual topics, one has to discuss spiritual topics very, very seriously. And when we discuss these spiritual topics very, very seriously, then one comes to the conclusion of the absolute truth. And when you come to the conclusion of the absolute truth, that Krishna is a person, God is a person, then your quest, then your real spiritual life begins, and you really become blissful. Then you become really happy, and that's what we want to be. We want our ending to be perfect. We want to have reached the position where we have reached to the point where our understanding of the truth is very clear, because Krishna is a person. It cannot be changed. It's the truth. It's there. It's out there. We have to realize that truth. So that is what is important. We have to realize that truth. Right? So I hope, Shamji, I was able to answer your questions. So thank you very much for asking. When somebody asks a question, it feels more enthusiastic, because questions means, that means we are thinking about the topic. We are taking it very, very seriously. So that is very, very important. So I encourage you to ask more and more questions, and that makes it very enlivening. So please, be more. If we can be more interactive, we can have more questions. Then the session will be even more enjoyable. It will be even more fun. So I thank you all for joining in today, and we hope to see you next week. We will not miss any week, and we will try to understand Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.